everyone, this is Stephanie from My Porch Prints, and today I'm going to attempt to make an Alice in Wonderland themed trifold project. So I haven't actually made this. This will be my first time, so we'll be learning together. But I designed these kind of Shabby Alice themed playing cards for my Etsy shop, and I thought I'm going to do some kind of project with these. So that's where these are from. And then I also have these alpha cards. They're in my shop as well. And then I'm also going to be using these Alice in Wonderland tags from my shop. And I'll put links to all this stuff below. But just so you know, the tags are actually larger than this. I shrunk them down for this project so that they'll fit. And I'm planning to use all of this stuff. We'll see how it goes as the project moves along. I'm kind of winging it here, so let's go ahead and get started and see how we do. Alright, so again, I'm going to be making a trifold, so it's going to be kind of like put together and then it's going to open this way and this way. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that part of the project. And this is going to be my cover, my front. It's a little plain right now, but I'm going to want to embellish it with some things, so I'm going to leave it like that. I've got some coffee dyed paper here that I went ahead and punched with a pretty edge punch, and I'll try to find a link for that too, because it's kind of a handy punch to have if you don't already have one. And okay. So I already cut some of this stuff to size, and I already did some inking of edges and things so that I could save a little time here. Kind of pretty. And I'm going to want to hook these together, and there's a few different ways you can do that, but I'm going to go ahead and I've got some more coffee dyed paper here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it a few times, you know, once and then twice, and then I'm going to cut a heart shape out and use it as kind of a hinge. So we're going with this kind of Alice in Wonderland theme, and hearts go with it, so and since I did it, they'll be the same since I folded it twice. And I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges because I do that with pretty much everything. It gives it a nice dimension and helps it kind of stand out. And just so you know, I'm using Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distress ink. And then I've also got some black soot distress ink that I'll probably be using because I've been using that with this as well. Trying to decide. I think I'll go ahead and put it on now. I'll probably end up covering it up with something and think that it was dumb to put it on right now, but I'm going to go ahead and just give it a shot. So I'm going to line these cards up together and use this as a hinge to hold them together. Okay, so now we've got kind of our first hinge. There's a little bit more space in there than I want, but that's okay. Oops. And of course, I'm not letting it dry, so it's going to be a little testy for a while until it dries a little bit better. And then, so what we're going to want is for this to open like a trifold so that it's like this when it's open. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this one over here. My mom used to say good side to good side, like when you're sewing. And so this is actually going to fold backwards when it's dry. Hopefully that doesn't get too sticky. Okay, so then this is going to be the front of the trifold. And I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with it. I'm just kind of winging it here, like I said. So I've got some cheesecloth here, and I might just use some of that. And these playing cards come with printable papers that you can print on the back. So I'm just using some printable paper that I had left over from the project I was working on. So again, I think I'm going to go with a heart theme. That seems to be lending itself well for this, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut a heart to fit on the front here. I'm going to go ahead and cut out a quote from one of these cards. So I'm kind of measuring here just to see how big I want it. Looks like that's the cutoff point. You might notice I don't do things very professionally. I'm kind of a pantser. I like to kind of go by the seat of my pants when I craft. So sometimes that's good because I'll end up having some happy accidents. But most of the time I just have accidents. See, like now that I've done this, I realize that that may not be the best place for that lace to go. I might actually want it down here. Oh, my changing mind. Okay, I think I'm ready to start putting this together, so. Okay. So now that I've got my lace sitting down here, oops, there's a little piece hanging off. I think I'm going to hang some charms from it. And I've got this little key heart charm that I think goes nicely with an Alice theme. And I've also got these little bottles, and I think I'm gonna do a drink me bottle to hang from here as well. So for hanging charms, I really like these pins. I'm not sure what they're called. I'll try to find a link to them. But I've been calling them bulb pins, like a light bulb, because they look like a light bulb. So I'm going to use a couple of these guys. And I'm thinking I'm going to use a little bit more of this coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to try to write drink me on here really small and put it on there. I don't know how it'll work because my handwriting's really bad and crooked, but I'm going to give it a try. I've got a micron pen. These write really fine, so that'll help hopefully. And try to gauge what kind of size I'll need here. Maybe some strange letters would be good because, you know, it's kind of a children's story, right? So I'm gonna give that a try. And I'm gonna tear it to give it more of a vintagey look. I don't think that cheesecloth's gonna try to hold that for me. See, my trial and error. You get to be part of it. You know, I might punch a hole and put it through. I got this nifty eyelet punch, and I don't use it a whole lot, so I should probably use it sometimes. That's handy. So now I've got this handy little spot for hooking my charm. There we go. Little drink me. Hang out over there a minute, and then I think I'll hook this key charm down here. Alright, So then inside, it's already kind of pretty. It may not need a ton of extra stuff, but I think I will try to add a few things. Okay, so now I want to make some, I guess, pockets for these little tags to sit in. Let's see, how do I want to do that? Wouldn't it be nice if I planned these things ahead of time? But then you wouldn't get to learn with me. So we still need ways to attach these. And actually I need to ink the edges of these. I should have done that before I stuck ribbons through. Sorry guys, learn from my mistakes. Let's see, what do we want to use to hold these little guys in? While that's drying, I will talk to you about the wonderful way to use glue when you're crafting. You may already know this, but it's a simple solution. I've got a cup. It's my free Dobby cup. And I just put my glue upside down in it while I'm working. And then I can just lift it out and put it back, and it's ready to go. So I don't have to unscrew lids and get the glue to the bottom every time. Works pretty great. Okay, so now I gotta make my other one. Maybe I'll make a little X-shaped ribbon. We'll see if this works. Like I said, a lot of times my crazy ideas just don't pan out. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry. And while that's happening, I might want to put something kind of cute over here. I'm trying to decide if I want it to be something Wonderlandy. I've got some more of these alpha cards, and I thought it might be pretty to put some of these little roses over here if I cut some out. There, I like that. Okay, these guys are still pretty wet. I'll probably regret this. But I'm going to try to slide this little guy down in here. There we go. Well, it's still a little bit wet, but there we go. So, scooch and clear a little bit of workspace here. We got our little drink me and our little quote, if I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. And then it opens up. Oops. Now I've done it. Opens up like this. And we've got our little tags. And here's what the back looks like. Cute. Alright, so I kind of like it. We flew by the seat of our pants and it didn't turn out too bad. So a fun little project you can do. Again, I'll put links to all the stuff I used in the printables down below. And that is it. Thanks for watching, everyone.